as Galatasaray of Turkey and the Premiership holders, the champions Manchester United, take to the pitch. The commentators, Jim Beglin and Rob Palmer.
What else but light rain to greet Galatasaray to the stadium they call these days the Theatre of Dreams. And this is the all-star cast on centre stage tonight. Impresario Alex Ferguson has decided that Schmeichel, Cantona and Keane should be the 3 foreign players allowed, with Ryan Giggs and Mark Hughes the assimilated players. Dennis Irwin is the unfortunate man to miss out, so there are changes in both full-back positions. Paul Parker has flu, so we expect to see Lee Sharp, the leading scorer, reverting to a left-back role, a role he used to play in his Torquay United days. Don't underestimate Galatasaray. Their squad contains 12 internationals of 3 different nationalities. Falco Goetz, their sweeper, told me last night that they play with 3 defenders and 8 attacking players. But for the kick-off at least, it's a formation of 3-5-2, a stopper, 2 centre-backs, Tugai dictating in midfield, and the highly rated Hakan, a big, fast number 9. The officials tonight are all from Denmark. Orchestrating events will be Carl Christiansen. I'm sure the Danes will be used to the cold weather. It's probably about 20 degrees cooler than it is in Istanbul tonight. But there's good 500 or so who've travelled overseas to see this game. 2,500 Turkish fans inside the ground, and I would imagine a good 30,000 or so from Manchester. Wonderful atmosphere inside, the banging of the drums, a real European night here at Old Trafford. Manchester United, of course, are so experienced in European competitions, 104 games in Europe, but as I was saying before, Galatasaray, 84 games in Europe as well. Ryan Giggs, the man that the Turks have been talking about. Where will he play tonight, Jim Beglin? On the wing?
Well, it's difficult. I think Alex Ferguson's problems have been solved a little bit. We all wondered who was going to play at left back. Dennis Irwin, of course, is out now. Lee Sharp's back there. Lee Martin across at right back. But I think it's in midfield is where we're going to really find out how United play. Roy Keane could play on the right, or Ryan Giggs could possibly just stay on the left. Maybe he'll play Keane, Robson and Ince as just a 3-man midfield with the other 3 up front.
So Galatasaray in their all-yellow strip, lining up to kick off a big night for them. A lot of pressure on them. A couple of their fans were telling me last night that they actually believe that they are the best team other than AC Milan in European competition. So they fully expect to come here and beat Manchester United. Last-minute checks by the referee. 11 players on each side, and Galatasaray, with their fans behind them, kick off towards the Stretford end. And this is Falco Goetz, one of the German players in the squad. They play no offside trap. They play with a deep lying sweeper. They really do like to attack. They're going for the early goal. This is Hakan. Well done, Lee Sharp in his full-back role, gives it away to Hakan. And an early shot coming in from Tugai. No problems, though, for Peter Schmeichel. He's the man that Alex Ferguson says they're going to have to watch out for, the captain midfield.
Well, we've all heard how much Turkish football has improved over the last few years. Manchester United have just had a warning of that.
Tugai, you may remember, played against England a couple of years ago. He's a very highly rated player. And here he is again on the ball. Believe me, a few nervous Manchester United players out there tonight. The Champions Cup. United have never got less than a semi-final in the European Cup. They have a great tradition in it. Of course, winning it back in 1968 against Benfica, the season after they last won the league. Suat looks to be like a little Pat Nevin type character, playing out on the left wing. Paul Ince involved in the action there, and so only underwent a fitness test yesterday. He's fully fit, unlike Paul Parker, who has the flu. He's probably watching this back home and willing on the boys in the red shirts. First run of the night for Ryan Giggs. Keeps going round the fullback. Not a bad cross from Giggs. Mark Hughes reads the situation well, has little support. Cantona. Nice turn from Robson, and the goal! The old maestro gives Manchester United the lead that they wanted. How many times have we seen him get into those attacking positions, pick up the pieces? In fact, of course, he did it against Turkey 9 years ago when he scored a hat-trick against their national team. Mark Hughes, not a great pass from Cantona, but what a great finish from Robson.
Absolute superb finish from Robson. Got a little bit of a lucky break when the ball came back to him. Flicked it off the inside of his right foot. Very quick to turn on it. And there's no better man to go in on the keeper than Robson. And he very coolly just lifted it over him. Very good start for United.
So, Brian Robson, the oldest man on the field, with the liveliest legs in the opening moments. Robson, the only scorer. Alex Ferguson was saying he'd settle for a goal in each half, and if he's changing his mind, maybe he'd go for 2 or 3 in the first half if United can keep up this momentum. The big men go forward. Hamza to take the corner kick. Not a great corner, but flicked it across the area, and it was Brian Robson who blocked Gertz getting in at the far post. And although he didn't make a contact on the ball, it was a very good block, using his experience at both ends of the field.
Well, it was a superb ball across, and Manchester United had to be very careful of getting that one away. Brian Robson had it covered when it eventually reached the far post, and actually he took quite a knock from the sweeper Goetz, who came in and clattered Robson in the far post. Glad to see he's okay.
He's taken a few clouts in his time, Brian Robson. A little push in the back won't hurt him, I'm sure. The adrenaline will still be flowing.
It really was the perfect start, and it all stemmed from Ryan Giggs down that left-hand side with the long cross over the top. And you think that's going to be Manchester United's best route tonight, because the Turks do have 2 Germans in the centre of their defence, and we know how organised the Germans can be. So it's up to Ryan Giggs and co to get the ball wide.
Good turn from Hakan. Doesn't fancy the shot. Tries to cross it to Kubilay, who is in the centre. The Turks seem to be playing with 3 out-and-out attackers and just 3 men at the back. This could be a European night to remember. Bülent, one of the half dozen or so Turkish internationals who's in the side. Got the Manchester United fans singing, getting behind their team, and the ball drops again, but Cantona is not going to have the pace to get there before Hayrettin. And then, again, you may recognise his international debut was against England 2 years ago, when he had a storming game and only let in 1 goal. Kubilay up against Bruce, again gets in a good cross, but Finnish Michael behind it, launches one forward. A little too high for Mark Hughes to do anything with. Guy. They like to play the ball around very quickly, the Turks. I was watching them in their training session last night. It's all 1- and 2-touch stuff. They've got to maintain their concentration to keep up that style of play. Kubilay laying into Paul Ince early on.
Yeah, there was no doubt about that was a foul. Referee was right on that occasion. But I think the Turks already are playing into United's hands a little bit. If anything, from the first few moments of this game, they like to overplay the ball a little bit. And of course, that will suit players like Ince and Robson, who like to get stuck in and win possession.
Ince underneath it, again over Cantona, the big boot of Stumpf, the German. Giggs to Cantona, lovely turn from the Frenchman, keeps going, puts two players on the floor, back heel from Giggs. This is stylish, that wasn't. But a warning of what may be coming, and who says there's no skill left in the English game?
Well, that was a beautiful back heel from Giggs. I just wonder what Eric Cantona was trying to do there. Certainly had a good opportunity. He obviously tried to cross it, got it all wrong.
Good play from the Welshman and the Frenchman. Eric Cantona in the news back home in France this week, saying that he's going to refuse to play for his country in the capital after the reception that Papin got when he was losing last week in the World Cup. Pallister makes his mark early on.
That was certainly a free kick as well. Gary Pallister just reminding the Turks that United can do a bit of that as well.
Hakan, 6'2", eyes of brown, and 5 goals in 10 internationals. He's up, he looks a little groggy. Watches the ball sail over his head, and Pallister in again with a telling touch. Drops to Suat. 3 United players close to him. One of those is Lee Martin. Very happy to be back in the team. To Guy. Kubilay beaten to the ball by Ince. And the referee held his whistle to his mouth for a second or two. Looked as though United had the advantage and then changed his mind. It's the Turks who have the advantage, and Ince is making up for that late tackle. Hughes, such a strong player. To Guy finds out just how strong. Sharp, the left back, to Giggs, the left winger. Over Cantona's head, Hughes is in there. Needed something special. He's the kind of man that can produce something like that, but it was a little bit too tight for Mark Hughes, I think, Jim.
Certainly was, and if he had any chance of getting to it, once it hit the floor, pitch is greasy, it just ran away from him a little bit. But that was better from United. The game hasn't quite settled down yet. They need to get the ball on the floor, knock it about, and settle it a little bit more.
So, just the Brian Robson goal after 2 minutes, separating the two sides. Cantona's flick. Nobody on the end of it. Sharp. I find it frustrating to be sitting at the back tonight. Six goals so far this season. Lee Sharp. Cantona. Sharp keeps going around the defender. And the referee, believe it or not, gives a goal kick.
I think if anything on that occasion, Sharp just ran into the defender. He couldn't really get out of the way. He was moving a little bit too fast, and I think he tried to make a little bit more of it than it actually was. The referee wasn't conned.
9.9 for the dive anyway. Suspicion of a handball, more than a suspicion it was, according to the Danish referee. Robson. Quite the measured pass that Cantona required. It's going to be difficult for both sides. It's slippery out there. And hey, Retton, well, again the Turks tell me is a rather crazy goalkeeper. Don't expect anything from him. Kubilay, they're pushing and shoving both ways, but Bruce gets the call. Kubilay, he's Swiss-born, played in Italy. Of Turkish ancestry.
Good omen when the referee's giving free kicks for that. Both of them were pulling at each other's shirts there. He's giving it United's way, and that's a good sign for the future.
Giggs getting plenty of the ball early on, putting in some nice crosses as well. Hamza had to get ahead to that one with Keane lurking. Martin's cross, Giggs in there, flick-footed. Just getting the toe to the ball. Really, he wanted to control it. Nice cross in from Lee Martin, and Giggs wading in from the wing. So much versatility in this Manchester United team. Giggs could play wide or could go down the middle and swap with Cantona, even give Sharp a run up front. Sounded like a clap of thunder to our right-hand side there, but it's just the drums of the Turkish fans. Sharp. Away by Bülent. It's not a good ball by him, straight to Kubilay. And with a sweet left foot. More sour than sweet on that occasion.
United still just trying to force some passes. I'd like to see him settle on it just a little bit more, knock it about, make the Turks work a little bit harder. They're certainly getting plenty of players behind the ball, so United should make full advantage of the room they're given.
Hughes. Martin, good ball over the top. Keane has the strength and will settle for a corner kick in that situation. The sweeper, Gertz, getting in the way of the ball. The two number 5s clashing. Home debut for Manchester United in Europe for Keane, and Pallister blunders forward. He's going to be tightly marked, bit of pinching and pushing and shoving. Little flick at the near post and his second goal! Gary Pallister taking the celebrations. It was certainly his presence on the near post which diverted the eyes away from the ball, and an inquest being held in the Turkish defence. Who was doing what? Hakan getting the blame. Here's the corner kick again. Cantona got out of the way, and it did come off the man who was marking Pallister. And I'm sure he'll try and claim that after the game.
I suppose you'd call that typical defender from a centre forward, back there to pick up Gary Pallister, and it just looked as if he tried to duck out of it when he should have headed it away. It's just flicked off his head into the far corner. Things couldn't have worked out better for United.
So less than a quarter of an hour gone, and Alex Ferguson has the 2-goal lead that he wanted. They're going for a third. It falls to Ince, and the first save of the night from Hayrettin from Paul Ince. Well, the Turks have to go forward now and search for an away goal. We've seen that they're not the greatest team in the world at defending. They came here with a bad reputation for defending. They have to play to their strengths. Of course, there are a few weaknesses in those red shirts. Robson. Cantona spots the run of Keane, but too much on the ball.
Well, that will have settled everybody all around now. As I said, United couldn't have hoped for a better start. 2 goals up inside 15 minutes. Now it's a time to go at them, because there's no doubt about it, Galatasaray have been well and truly rattled. United have got them on the run.
th minute. Unlucky on goal for Hakan. Cross from Hamza. Away by Sharp. Stumpf. It's a guy looking for an opening. Can't find one. Kubilay turns. Bruce clears. Cantona to Hughes. Hamza. Hakan trying to make amends. Comes to Arif. A shot and a goal! And what a great goal that was! Old Trafford is silenced. The drums are beating, the flags are flying, the fireworks are hitting the sky, and Arif's heart is racing. A goal he's going to remember for the rest of his life. Beautiful goal.
Absolute superb strike from Arif, but United have got to be sick at that. They had about 8 players back behind the ball there, and they still give him time to settle on the ball and get a shot in. Brian Robson was just caught a little bit and couldn't quite get across, but they've got to do better than that defensively.
Paul Ince. Great game on our hands. Cantona. Keane. Over the head of Cantona. And a chance for Hayrettin just to slow things down. Manchester United thought they were sailing away, but just 2 minutes after partner. Arif pulls one back, and a vital away goal. Manchester United's offside trap works. Kubilai caught in the trap. Alex Ferguson looking a little pensive. What do you think's going through his mind, Jim?
Well, he's saying to himself at the moment, that's exactly what we didn't want to do. I mean, he said beforehand, as you mentioned, Rob, he'd be happy with a goal in each half. He already had two. He's going to have to ask for a little bit more from his defenders there.
Could be wrong, but I don't think Peter Schmeichel had actually touched the ball until he was picked out the back of the net. Manchester United are looking a little bit ragged. Bruce. Bülent. A terrible ball. I don't speak Turkish, but I understand he's getting a little bit of stick from his teammates there. Giggs sets off on a run, gets it now. Not the cross required. Bülent gets a foot in the way. This is Tugay. Arif, the scorer. And suddenly, Manchester United fans have gone quiet. And the only voices you can hear are the native Turkish tongues. Suat to Tugay. Suat again. Hakam's onside. Sharp has to be careful. Puts him off at least, but he's still got the ball. And Schmeichel makes his first save of the evening. It's the first time he's touched the ball, Jim.
It looks like it. He certainly didn't get anywhere near for the goal. Very good work from the Turks on that occasion. But United have got to do a little bit more defensively. They've got Robson, Ince and Keane all in there, all very aggressive players. They've got to be seen to do a little bit more to protect their back four.
That's where the sweeper comes into play. Nothing fancy about that. Up in the air, out of the ground. Shielding from Cantona, just too much for Robson. He keeps going, just in case anything falls for him. Martin. Keane, in a quiet game so far. Ball hasn't been on the right-hand side much. It's all gone down the centre or occasionally through Giggs on the left. Keane's in an offside position.
Well, United have opted for the 4-4-2. Keane, not in his usual position wide on the right, but he's roamed around the place already. He's moved inside on quite a few occasions. And
well, as the Turkish fans last time, Lou Macari was here with the Stoke City. He was promising free fish and chips at his chippy round the corner. I wonder if it'll be free kebabs in Manchester City Centre. The Turkish kebab shop that I know tonight.
Well, if it stayed like this, they'll certainly be tucking into those, and a few beers with it, I'm sure.
Can again, Suat can't get around Bruce. Yusuf. Arif beats himself, then tries to take on a defender. Great run from Yusuf, but Giggs in the way to Hughes. Hughes doesn't have a great deal of support. Manchester United are certainly not at their best. Different tactics that they're coming up against, of course. Turks, though defending, still have three players inside the United half. Robson. Martin. All avenues, dead ends. Gets long ball stuff. Playing that in Turkey as well.
I think by the looks of it, United probably shocked themselves with those 2 early goals, because for me, they still haven't quite settled down. They're still giving away possession, and they shouldn't really do it. On the last occasion, just a few moments ago, Lee Martin turned inside, knocked a bad ball when he had plenty of players around him to give it to.
So, midway through the first half, live from Old Trafford, here on Granada Television. A great game, United taking the lead through Rochen and Pallister. The Turks back in it. A rather spectacular goal from Arif on the quarter-hour mark. Alone. Referee gives the advantage. Ince comes back and help and gets in a tangle. And it doesn't require anything fancy from Lee Sharp. Does very well in a tricky situation.
Well, Tugay is the man that United aren't picking up. He's the playmaker for Galatasaray, and at the moment he's been given far too much room. They've got to get a little bit tighter on him. Paul Ince and Brian Robson are speaking to each other at the moment, trying to sort it out. Somebody has got to pick him up, or they could go another goal.
Michael kicks it up above the floodlights. Brave man that heads that ball. Götze breaks out of his sweeper role, the German. Kubilai, the Swiss international, and he gets it back. And the Dane, Peter Schmeichel, gets in the way. Good save from Schmeichel, best of the night so far.
Well, Galatasaray are really settling now. Superb 1-2. Lee Martin, I think, was watching the player just a little bit, let him get behind him, and Peter Schmeichel had to be at his best there.
Corner taken quickly. And the smallest man on the field, Suat, gets a header to the ball. A little disappointed with himself, but it was asking a lot for, was he 5'5", 5'6" to beat Peter Schmeichel in the air. Keane moved into a centre-forward role. Giggs moves in from the wing. How much interchange? Not much. Götze applies the boot. Alistair applies the head. Nobody applying any real influence so far. Great ball from Tugay. Akan makes a run. And that's a corner kick. United having to do all the defending since they scored that second goal.
Well, again, it was that man Tugay, played the ball through for Reef, didn't get the cross in on that occasion. Another example of what he can do if he's given the room to do it.
Tugay's corner. Akan with the header. Wants to make up for that own goal. They like to shoot from distance, and Peter Schmeichel had difficulties dealing with the ball after it spun up at him off the very greasy surface. Supreme control. Here, United throw in if it goes. Saved by Yusuf. Yusuf. That means the small Yusuf for the non-Turkish speaking viewers. There's another Yusuf on the benches with a name I won't even attempt to pronounce. Giggs. Ince. Giggs again. Cantona. Lets it go. Hakan again. Comes under a heavy challenge from Bruce. Kubilay, who's probably looked the most dangerous player on the ball for the Turks. To Hamza. They go forward in numbers. Kubilay. Suat. United allowing the yellow shirts plenty of freedom. Arif goes down under a very heavy challenge indeed. Steve Bruce taking the ball, man and all.
That's probably a sign of United's back four's frustration really at what's happening, because we don't want to keep repeating ourselves here, but United really are giving the Turks too much space in midfield, and we've seen already with the likes of Kubilay, Tugay, they can play, and if United keep allowing them that sort of space, they could really be in trouble again.
You're getting to grip with these names, aren't you?
Just about.
That was three in a sentence then.
I'll leave most of it to you, Rob, that's for sure.
He's been practicing Schmeichel all day. 4 players standing over the ball and reliably informed that the man with the strongest shot is the number 11. Kubilay is not standing over it. It's looks like the number 6 Tugay who's lining up. Pretty straightforward, off the wall, falls to Kubilay, but Martin, better safe than sorry. Couldn't say it was a set piece. I don't think they meant it to come off the wall, but it almost worked perfectly for them.
It was good defending from Martin. He had to be alive and alert there. Nobody knew where the ball was going to come off the wall, and he did well to get back in cover.
Hakan causing trouble on the near post. Pallister doesn't get the kind of connection that he wanted. Ryan Giggs' speed gets United out of a tricky situation. Now they're getting the ball moving. The final control and the final pass is letting down the English champions. Suat to Götz, all the way back to Hayretin. Doesn't get a good foot on the ball when he's clearing it. Rather fortunate there to get away with that. Paulins, in retrospect, I thought of having a shot from 40 yards. Tugay keeps going. Looks elaborately for a free kick. The referee's seen all that before. United's skill master Cantanago is on the look. Well, he's not so far. Arif, the scorer, finds Suat. Arif supports behind him. Suat goes alone. Now Arif gets it. United playing a very flat back line. Watching Galatasaray attack in the gallery in front of them. Now it's the Manchester United fans who are getting behind their team. Good crowd here tonight. Will that be classed as a back pass? Well, the goalkeeper takes no risks and allows it to go for a corner kick anyway. Gary Pallister has been running up and down the field for half an hour or so. Caused problems on the last corner kick, which gave United the second goal. It's over his head this time. Bruce gets in there. He can't improve on the 2 goals he scored in the last European game against Honved.
Well, that's the first time we've seen United make an attack for quite a while now. Hopefully that will spur them on a little bit more, give their confidence a little bit of a boost after they conceded that goal and conceded a better spell to the Turks there. But typical set piece from United, the long corner looking for Steve Bruce. We've seen him score like that so much. Unfortunately, that one didn't go in.
Giggs. Can he stamp his authority on this game? No. Tugay. You think that the chaps in the yellow shirts are at home if you'd just tuned in. Arif. Ball through. Mayhem! And a goal to the Turks! Peter Schmeichel is absolutely livid at Lee Martin. Kubilay, meanwhile, is celebrating the goal. And poor old Lee Martin gets into a tangle with Peter Schmeichel. And he's taking the brunt of the Danes' blame for the Turks' equaliser. Schmeichel is absolutely livid.
Well, it doesn't take a genius to work out why he is livid. He's obviously called for the ball, asked Lee Martin to let it run to him. He was confident he was going to come and get it. Martin's got the touch. Schmeichel is stranded, and that's the easiest goal Kubalai's ever scored.
There it is again. A comedy of errors. No option now. Manchester United have to go out and attack. They can't allow these Turks to go forward. They're so dangerous. Few amateur dramatics in the Turkish half. The Turkish coaches aren't too happy. Suat is down in a bundle, and he's been rolling and writhing, and oh, it was a challenge from behind. It was late reaction, but Roy Keane, I don't know why, made contact with the back of the Turkish player. We didn't see the whole incident, we didn't see what happened before that, but Suat definitely the victim of a collision with Roy Keane. And
he's still trying to look for an Oscar, isn't he? Now he's just dived into a tackle.
Never a dull moment in European competition.
I think Alex Ferguson is going to be absolutely furious at the moment. 2-0 up, had to take the game to them a little bit more, probably would have got a third. The Turks were rattled, instead they've decided to sit off, and they've paid for it.
Alex Ferguson has seen Galatasaray play 3 times before this tie. He's done his homework. They've outlined to the Manchester United players just what's required. And a scouting report on the game they played on Sunday against the league leaders when the Turks won 5-4, so he knows all about their goal-scoring ability. And 2 Galatasaray goals of stark contrast. One was special, the other one was pretty stupid from the Manchester United point of view.
I bet Hakan is a little bit relieved now. Of course, he gave United the second own goal from the corner kick. He'll certainly be a happy man that they fought their way back.
Kubilai, scorer of the second, and the man that put the ball over the line from 1.5 yards. Tugai, again neat footwork, again Manchester United with 10 men back behind the ball. It's one player who certainly will never give up, whether for country or for his club. Mike Phelan warming up. Hollins seems to be hobbling a little bit. United have the option of bringing on another experienced old head. And the referee here could be ready to book one of the Turkish players. Kubilai is down on the floor. The referee is bringing out the yellow card. I saw that perfectly. I was looking down at the time. Roy Keane was walking past Kubilai. Didn't touch him. Kubilai jumped to the ground as if he'd been hit by a missile. The referee saw it perfectly as well. It was after this, and Kubilai trying to get Keane into trouble. It was actually after that, and nothing happened.
I think Keane, to be fair, actually did raise his leg, but he still made no contact whatsoever, and the referee was just about 10 yards away. Perfect position to see it, and Kubilai deserves his booking for that.
The referee was right on top of that situation, and straight away it told Kubilai to get up. Kubilai refused, and a yellow card for play acting. Well, good strong referee. We could have done with him in Rotterdam last week.
We've seen very little from Eric Cantona so far tonight, and that's because he's really been man-marked by Stumpf. Not surprising, he's a German as well, is it? They're very, very good at that sort of thing.
Cantona's cross. Hughes waits for it. Away from Robson. Bit far for Sharp to try a shot. And trickles for a goal kick.
been the story for United tonight. That final ball has let him down on many an occasion, and I don't really think it's down to the Turks. They look very average defensively. I think United just haven't raised to the standards we've seen so much in the past, and they really aren't playing the type of football we know they can.
Roy Keane getting stuck in. Suat. Keane again. Suat looks a little afraid of the Irishman. Bruce. Cantona. Arif. The Turkish players looking a little bit tired, and then a strong challenge from Paulins. Ryan Giggs glides past one. Can he go alone? Can he provide something special? He's got 3 defenders between him and the goal. And Yusuf gets in the way. Giggs wins it back. And a personal war between the two of them ends with the yellow shirts coming away with the ball.
Great run from Giggs, but what he needed in that position was a little bit of help. But again, there was no red shirts backing him up, and as soon as the attack broke down, there was nobody in there to get a tackle in.
Lee Sharp. Ince. Keane, who's playing wider. Martin's gone into a right wing role and receives the ball. Runs out of space. Do you think the change of, well, not so much formation for Manchester United, but the change of the fullbacks has affected the way they're playing, Jim? They don't have the support, of course, from Parker and Owen, who are normally helping out Sharp and Giggs on the wing.
Well, it certainly looks like it, because for me tonight, well, United aren't united enough out there in the pitch. There's individuals out there trying to play, there's no real togetherness, and it's making it very scrappy. Of course, when they do have the regular fullbacks playing, they make a hell of a difference, and that probably is the cause.
Robson, no, trying to lead the troops. Doesn't mind biting the dust. A good cause. Still a speedy player at the age of 35. As we approach the last 5 minutes of the first half. Sharp's free kick. Cantona peels off. Had to be an important header from Stumpf. The ball handed to Brian Robson. Short to Cantona. Shrugs off Suat. Robson. Not a good ball. Oh, dear me. Both defences are looking a little jittery. United looking for the long throw. Pallister asking Rick Price, the ball on his head. He's in a good position. Beaten in the air. Back to Martin. If that was a cross or a shot. Onto his weaker left foot, and I think he just hit the ball and hoped.
You just wonder if this is a delayed reaction from international week. Of course, they won on Saturday against Spurs and took it nice and easy as they did it. Maybe they're really feeling the effects of that now.
Hughes, and that's going to be the goalkeeper's ball, but again, the defenders and the goalkeepers, it appears, not speaking the same language. Maybe the keeper's voices are lost in the large crowd. The ball is being played around nonchalantly in both 18-yard boxes. The fans of both sides sitting on the edge of their seats. I'm sure the managers and coaches will be as well. Giggs, can he get us onto our feet? Possibly with a cross like that, but again Stumpf reads it well. Little flicks from Cantona aren't quite coming off tonight. Behind you is Ryan Giggs to Yusuf. Four left for Lee Sharp. Whether he can put a couple of extra yards on the ball, on the throw. Cantona, something special. Easy catch for Hayreddin.
Again, it was that man Stumpf right behind him, not making it easy. All that Cantona could do was try to do the scissor kick, knock it over his head. Easy for the keeper.
Roy Keane. Lee Martin. Cantona checks, he's onside. Two players in the centre. Can't find Hughes, can't find Giggs. Cantona, in the last couple of minutes, is beginning to look a little bit dangerous. He's looked lost out there.
Cantona is a player not renowned for his work rate, very good on the ball, doesn't always work very hard to get it, and he doesn't need to in this United side with players around him to do it for him. But I think tonight, with this man-marking system, he's going to have to work just a little bit harder, because United certainly need him now.
Giggs. Hughes. Ince. There's nobody supporting on the right-hand side, nobody wide. Martin gallops forward now, delivers a nice cross. And a blatant obstruction from Steve Bruce. To be fair to him, I think he just got in the way of Arif, but Arif goes down as if he was hit by a tank.
I think Arif just got there before him, didn't he? And the pace of the ball just beat him when Arif touched it past him. And I think, although Steve Bruce didn't try to pulverise him, I think he knew what he was doing, had to bring him down.
The referee standing for no nonsense. He didn't allow the trainer to come onto the field there. A real stickler, making sure that nobody's going to hoodwink him. I can imagine there's going to be too much injury time. We're into injury time now. Arif trying one last shot, but not as good as his last one, which provided the goal which brought Galatasaray back into this game.
Well, Arif made a mess of that one, but that was similar to the goal he scored when they got it back to 2-1. All the room in the world again to get a shot in. And United don't do that sort of thing in ordinary league games. I don't know why they're doing it tonight.
Whistles, it's hard to tell where from, but I think they're from the Manchester United fans. Half-time, I'm sure it's the Turks who are going to be a lot happier with a 2-2 scoreline, but I'm sure they're going to be a lot happier with a 2-2 scoreline, Jim.
I think I'd like to be a fly on the wall in Manchester United's dressing room at half-time. I don't think Alex Ferguson and Brian Kidd are going to be happy men in there.
Alex Ferguson was saying when they go to Istanbul, he's expecting a hostile reception. He says the Turks have a temperament a little like his. The United could be seeing the Jekyll and Hyde of their manager. Calm before the game. He's going to be incensed at the break. Keane goes down the middle, runs into a blank. Screaming out wide was Ryan Giggs. And the referee blows the final whistle of the first half. First half, which started rather spectacularly with Brian Robson giving Manchester United the lead after just 2 minutes. It looked like plain sailing when Gary Pallister forced an own goal after...
Not tonight.
I don't know, maybe it's a European night, but in the second half we're going to have to show a lot of patience and hopefully get a couple of goals.
You've missed out tonight. I just wonder how difficult it is readjusting a defence. You've got Lee Sharp at left back, you've got Lee Martin at right back. That must take some getting used to.
Yeah, it might do, but with Paul Parker also out, it obviously unsettled them. But Lee Martin and Lee Sharp are good players, and you know they'll do well second half, I hope.
Okay, patience is the key. We'll see how they go. Thanks very much, Dennis.
Right,
Thanks very much indeed, Rob. Manchester United were first out, and they've got to be first off the starting blocks at the start of the second half. They really need a couple of goals here. Jim Beglin and Rob Palmer are our commentators.
Just checking amongst the players. Doesn't look as though there have been any substitutions at half-time. The referee again checking the 11 players on each side. And of course it's not a shock for a Turkish team to be holding an English team. Manchester City won't read reminding that back in the 68-69 season against Fenerbahce, they lost over there and drew over here. And Trabzonspor managed to beat Liverpool back in 1977, though the Merseysiders beat them at Anfield. Manchester United have an almighty job on their hands. They need to score a couple of goals, because as Alex Ferguson has been stating before the game, it's not going to be easy when they get across to Turkey. It's got to be all-out attack. The passes, the finishes, and even the flicks of Cantona have to be much better in this second 45 minutes.
That's true. I think the part-timers in the League of Ireland, Cork United, who Galatasaray beat in the last round, they'll certainly be feeling a lot better with this result. I think that's the last thing they would have expected as well, to see the Turks come here and get 2 goals. I'm sure Alex Ferguson has just reminded his players that they can actually play football and to concentrate on that rather than just sitting back allowing the Turks to come at them when they want to. He certainly would have demanded a much improved performance in this second half. United, of course, are well capable of getting another 2 goals. He said he wanted a 2-goal lead to go to Turkey with. They're very capable of getting a 4-2 win here.
Like Ferguson was saying before the game, he wanted a 2-0 win. I suppose the equivalent in these circumstances is 4-2 or better. Ryan Giggs is going to have to much better second half than he had first. Brian Robson didn't have a bad game. He set up that goal 2 minutes into the first half. They go for a goal with less than 2 minutes gone in the second half. And for the first time in a good half hour or so, we hear the Old Trafford roar.
Already United look busier, ferreting about midfield again, winning possession. Robson set up that attack.
Again, Pallister up, the goalkeeper not sure, the ball not cleared. Chance for Sharp to have a shot. And now Galatasaray are in a 4-against-1 situation. Hakan's down the middle. It's played wide, across, and it had to be a leap and a fine catch from Peter Schmeichel. If he'd let the ball go, then Hakan was behind him and ready to pounce to give the Turks an unprecedented 3-2 lead. An important leap from the Dane.
Great save from Peter Schmeichel, great anticipation. The last player you would have wanted from the Turkish side to be in that position to get the ball in was Tugay. He's been excellent in the first half, and thankfully Peter Schmeichel was able to leap and grasp that one.
No complaints about the entertainment, I'm sure. Lee Sharp. Been very competent in the air, Galatasaray, Jim.
Certainly surprised us in that way, but again, it's probably down to the 2 Germans more than anything else, because they're very, very tall and they do look very competent in the air.
Ryan Robson. Sharp, Keane. This is better. Every time we say that, they put into a pair of yellow socks and a determined, grit-teethed Turkish defender. That's classy from Tugay. And there's a spare man on the far side, cutting inside again. The shot! Oh, so close! And Peter Schmeichel, angry with his defence. Alex Ferguson had a few choice words at half-time, I'm sure, and Peter Schmeichel is carrying that on a couple of yards away.
Hell of a shot from the Turks again. It looked, though, on the replay there that Schmeichel did actually have it covered. Knew the ball was always bending a little bit away from goal, but again set up by that man Tugay in the middle of midfield. United have got to get a grip of him soon. This is the worst possible start they could have imagined to the second half, apart from conceding a goal.
Schmeichel's doing his bit. The fans are doing their bit. Cantona, fine touch back to Ince. It has little support though, that's the problem. Now Sharp joins the attack. Stationary in the centre, they want Sharp to go alone, he does that. Fine cross! And that required a very competent header from Gertz.
He's played quite well tonight, he's read things pretty well at the back. His two centre-halves in front of him have also done well, but anything that does get through, Gertz has been there again on that occasion.
Most forward that we've seen Sharp so far in this game. There he is again, good pass, Giggs. The orders could be from Alex Ferguson for the fullbacks to get further forward in this game. Reminder that Paul Parker has the flu and doesn't play, and Dennis Irwin, the unlucky man to drop out because of the 5 foreigner rule. Meanwhile, not for the first time, we see a Turkish player hit the deck, and not for the first time we see the referee completely ignore him. Play continues as he drives around though. The Turks down to 10 men. Might urge him to get up. Good turn from Hughes to Ince to Giggs. Can't find Ince, who had continued his run. And Stumpf, such a strong player. Huge German defender, Stumpf. Has looked so competent. And at last the referee allows treatment for the injured Hakan close to the halfway line. Peter Schmeichel's complaining that he should be taken off the field. The referee's telling them to drag him off the field. The two trainers that are allowed in European competition have joined in the act. And in the theatre of dreams, we have some off-the-ball incident and off-the-ball entertainment.
No doubt about it. The Turks have been trying it on all night in that department, but the referee has done very well for Manchester United. Sometimes you will get weak referees that will be conned by that sort of thing, but tonight the referee has been excellent.
Giggs. Nobody in the centre. But Hamza wasn't to know that.
Again though, United could do with just getting a few more players in the box. Hughes was the only player there when that ball came in from Giggs, and they've got to do a little bit better than that.
Hakan rejoins the play as the corner kick's taken. Minimum of treatment for their centre forward. Galatasaray back to 11 players. Robson. Hughes has found some men at the back to match even him. Ince. The stopper, Gertz, only finds the back of Suat. United urge forward. Cantona's lovely little chip. Bülent away. To Guy. Great ball. Arif let fly in the first half. Hakan looks a little lost. And Kubilai, scorer of the second goal, not going to get a second for his own personal tally if he hoofs it like that.
Well, another inquest in United's defence. Ince and Bruce are having words at the moment. They're all over the place at the moment. And I think had Arif just released that ball a little bit quicker, United could have been in trouble again.
Lee Martin, who is to blame for the equalising goal which Kubilai scored. Arif. Sharp does well defensively. Suat. Robson lending experience. Sharp gets another stab. Still can't clear it. Robson has to mop up again in midfield. Martin. Going on a run. Hughes. Certainly not the fluency that we've seen in the Premiership this season. Good move, and a foul, and a free kick.
Can't complain about that. A little bit better from United. Better movement, better availability, and when people do make themselves available, the ball can be played in there. On that occasion, that's exactly what happened, and the Turks were a little bit stretched, had to give away the free kick.
Götze, the guilty man. High Retting settling for just a three-man walk. Somebody else has joined it now. Giggs runs up off the top of one of the Galatasaray defenders. And Giggs is going to have to run 40 yards to take the corner kick that he's just earned for the Red Devils. Bruce and Pallister both in there. Aim for Bruce, good header, and the goalkeeper caught that, it seemed, a couple of inches above the bar. That's twice that Bruce has gone forward into attacks, and twice he's got headers on goal.
Well, the keeper wasn't taking any chances, but I think the defender, Götze, I think it was, just did enough to put Bruce off. Couldn't quite get the clean header he would have liked to get the ball a little bit firmer on target. Of course, Dennis Irwin was saying at half-time that United are going to have to be a little bit patient in this second half. There's no doubt about it, but they've got to show a little bit more urgency than they're doing at the moment. They're still giving the Turks plenty of time to settle, take time to play the ball out at the back, and really United players have just got to work a little bit harder all round to get back in the lead in this game.
Eric Cantona gets the yellow card. I think something was lost in the language there between the Danish referee, the Turks. The number 2 Stumpf is German and doesn't speak English and doesn't speak French, and I think all he was trying to tell Eric Cantona was that it was a throw-in to Galatasaray. Cantona gets the booking. Bookings so costly in European competition, you have to watch your temper. You may miss out on the big games in the later rounds. Kubilai. Game swinging to and fro. It's a period of United pressure, then a period of Galatasaray pressure. Hughes forces the mistake. Roy Keane, how quiet he's been. Cantona to Giggs. Stump's head underneath it again. Kubilai able to clear the ball, he wasn't put under any real pressure.
United certainly aren't on real passing form tonight, so if it's not working for them in that way, they've got to go for a more direct route. They've got to just get the ball into the box early, try and pick out people who are strong in the air like Mark Hughes, and get players like Roy Keane running into the box to try and get on the end of any knockdowns.
Nobody can get a grip of the ball. Steve Bruce, will admit he's not the most skillful player on the field, tries to get something going. Arif, inside Sharp. It's 3-on-3. Man over on the left-hand side. But a guy can't see him. He wants the glory himself. And ends up a little red-faced.
Of course, while all that was going on, Roy Keane was poleaxed at the other end of the pitch. He took a knock of the ball in the midriff, and I think it probably just winded him a little.
Suat throwing his weight around. Bruce. Cantona. Lovely pass from Cantona to Keane. Hasn't looked comfortable as a right winger. But the Turks have looked so comfortable on the ball. Sharp. Martin. Keane again, dropping deeper and deeper. Cantona met by a strong challenge. The referee waves play on. Cantona moans at the referee, but he better watch out. He was booked for throwing the ball in the opponent's face, we can confirm. Schmeichel hacks it forward. Again, winning the ball in the air. Sharp has little space to run into. Cantona again to Sharp, to Robson. Keane again gets the ball. No United player within 10 or 15 yards has to make the easy pass. All 10 Turkish players back behind the ball. Ince goes alone. Cantona, neat little header. Mark Hughes thought about the overhead kick. It's a little bit too high for him. And Brian Robson only gives the ball away. And a scurry forward again. Lovely little flick. Arif finds Kubilay. The Turkish commentator to my left-hand side is getting excited. Maybe he senses something that we don't. But Gary Pallister saves the day. And from one attack, we go to another attack.
Gary Pallister is really coming into his own now, showing his true class, and he's broken up a few attacks in this second half from Galatasaray, and they certainly need him in top form the way they're playing now.
Always looks tired. That's because he's giving 100%. And again, it's 4-on-4. Tugay carrying the ball. Has the skill to do it alone. But this time it's Bruce who gets the challenge in. Manchester United sitting back. They've got two teams at the moment, one attacking team, one defensive team. And Peter Schmeichel, it's off the post, it's a goal! And the Turks have scored a third! They cannot believe it! A night to remember for Turkish football. 3 goals at Old Trafford. They're going to be in the partying in the streets of Istanbul.
I don't know about them not believing it, I can't believe it myself. When United's last attack was broken up, they really struggled to get back. Robson, Ince and Keane all looked very, very tired. It was 4-on-4, as you say, Rob. And again, they've just sat back off them and allowed them to have the shot. Got a little bit of luck when it came back off the post. There we see it. Didn't get to him early enough. It's just clipped Steve Bruce's leg. Come back off the post. And again, a very, very simple goal. And that's a disaster for United.
3 away goals. Kubilay with his second goal of the game. Let me repeat, it's Manchester United 2, Galatasaray 3. Doesn't make great reading for English football. They're going for a fourth, and only Pallister's foot intervenes.
Well, nobody would have expected this. Last night, Aston Villa and Norwich, it looked as if they'd had harder ties, went and did the business, and now United are falling apart.
Just shows how the gap is narrowing in world football. Over the head of Hughes. Giggs letting it go. And Alex Ferguson, as soon as that goal went in, to be fair to him, told Nicky Phelan to get changed. And it's going to be a straight swap. Brian Robson, the scorer of that goal after 2 minutes, is to hand over the captaincy to Steve Bruce. Mike Phelan comes on. Is he going to play in midfield, or will there be a change of formation, Jim? What do you think?
Well, I would imagine it will be a straight swap. Robson, of course, got the first goal tonight, but for me, on the whole, he's just looked a little bit tired. And although he's passed the ball around now and again when he's got it, he hasn't really made those tackles that he's famous for.
Don't know what we can read from the formation at the moment, but Lee Martin seems to have gone into a left-back role. Giggs seems to have gone into the centre, and Lee Sharp, I think, is going to be asked to play as an out-and-out winger. Mark Hughes will give chase. Youssef has the legs on him.
I think United have 4 strikers now. They've got Hughes and Cantona, who started the game up front, and Giggs and Sharp have pushed on as well.
Well, Brian Robson at 8:05 this evening, I think, can see the headlines: Captain Marvel, Captain Invincible, Captain European Championship. And it will be the Turkish headline writers who are setting the ink now. Paul Ince. A big boot out. Pallister with his eyes on it, heads it 20 yards. Cantona has to win the ball in the air, but it's not the Frenchman's game. Great incentive for Galatasaray to win tonight. They're apparently on 5 billion Turkish lira to beat Manchester United. Sharp's cross, back from Cantona, away from Giggs, little support, nobody there. Sharp's in there, stolen in, an appeal for handball from the Turks. Mayhem reigns. Keane, 4 players to aim for. One of those was Hughes, who wishes that he'd got a call from behind him, and he could have brought the ball down on his chest and possibly had a shot.
I think we saw there what Manchester United have been missing through most of this game. Lee Sharp wide on the left. He's having a great season so far. On that occasion, he ran them ragged. Galatasaray at the back, got the cross in, and United were unlucky not to get one back there.
Very healthy attendance inside Old Trafford tonight. 39,396, and of course millions of you all over the place enjoying this live game all around Britain and all around the world as well. And we have one idiot running onto the field who's going to get an arm lock from Peter Schmeichel if he doesn't watch it on the halfway line. And I think Wigan or Widnes or St Helens would be interested in Peter Schmeichel if he makes challenges like that. The Dane just losing his temper, and there's another fool on the pitch. Peter Schmeichel doing an audition for the play bouncers, I think. And the Turkish players are pleading with the officials to be a little bit kinder. These are Turkish fans, I may add, not English fans that are running onto the field. And we have another former rugby union, a rugby league player, making the sliding challenge.
You would have thought they would have been happy enough just to be 3-2 up at this stage, rather than coming running on the pitch. One of them setting a flag alight, I think, to run on the pitch. Absolutely ridiculous. And it's just added to Manchester United's frustration, to Peter Schmeichel's in particular.
What we didn't see before Peter Schmeichel rugby tackled that guy is that he had a flag which was on fire. So I think Schmeichel was fearing for the safety when he got rid of him on the side of the field in no uncertain terms. And the referee, who's had a very, very good game, almost a perfect game so far, Mr. Peter Mickelson has a few problems on his hands and demanding that calm be kept out there. Quite wisely, just allowing play to slow down and tempers both on and off the field not to get frayed. He's going to add the time on, plenty of stoppage time. The referee had a word with one linesman. I think he's coming to have a word with the other linesman. And the UEFA official, the fourth official down there, John Nielsen, another Dane, is going to have a word with the police and ask that the fans could be kindly kept in their seats, that they paid a lot of money for tonight.
Well, let's hope the break will work in United's favour. I know they were Turkish fans. Let's hope it unsettles Galatasaray and United can take advantage.
Turkish fans not doing their team any favours. They run into problems a couple of years ago in Europe when missiles were thrown onto the field and they were actually forced to play their games away from their home country. Martin headed down. Suat clears, offside anyway.
Everybody's in a little bit of shock after seeing that. We're very surprised up here ourselves, watching those idiots running onto the pitch. But United now have got to get talking to each other out there. Steve Bruce and Roy Keane are trying to egg each other on. Now, they've got to have a last-ditch effort. The last thing they want to do is go to Turkey a goal down. They've got to try and at least get back on level terms. I mean, you could see United quite easily going there and winning. You can't write them off just yet.
Hostile is the word which has been used rather frequently to describe the Ali Sami Yen Stadium, which holds 34,000 fans, but I'm sure they'll make the noise of 100,000 fans when United go to Turkey. Alex Ferguson was relaying stories of golf balls and bottles being thrown onto the pitch when he saw their last game across there. Galatasaray could be ready to throw on Nadal, another striker. Maybe they're going for the fourth goal. Meanwhile, United go for their third. Ince tries the shot, drops to Giggs. Good save, made him look better than he really was, Hayrettin. But at least United prepared to have a crack at goal.
Well, it's a little bit better. It was Paul Ince who first tried to have the shot blocked, fell nicely for Ryan Giggs. Didn't have a lot of time, good shot, and I think you're right, the keeper did make a little bit of a meal of it, had it quite comfortably.
Arif, the arms go up, the flag goes up, and Hakam and Kubile offside. Make a prediction, I don't think that 3-2 is going to be the final score. There's plenty of life left in this game yet. Sharp's cross, feet go flying in from Ryan Giggs, and the referee gives a goal kick. It could be a goal kick, could be a free kick. He's just pointing to the 6-yard box, but Giggs' feet seem to be flying.
I think probably what you needed in there was Mark Hughes to be in Ryan Giggs' position, have the roles reserved, because you could see a player like Mark Hughes, very aggressive, very committed, throwing his head at that one. That's probably what it needed. Giggs was just stretching too much.
Turkish defence move out. Cantona look to be offside. The referee and linesman wave play on. Galatasaray get the free kick. It's taken quickly. They're looking very tired now, though. Go on. Kubile. Steve Bruce. Back to Schmeichel.
It'll be a lot easier for Galatasaray to forget about being tired now. When you're 3-2 up at a club like Manchester United in the European Cup, you forget about aching limbs.
They were saying at the start that they call it the theatre of dreams. The dreams have all been Turkish dreams. Turkish delight so far. I'm sure that'll be a headline in the morning.
Well, they've certainly been full of Eastern promise tonight.
Carrying like this, you'll fly off with your magic carpet. Arif. Youssef tackle, and he's going to take all the time in the world, all the time that is allowed. Nothing that Ryan Kidd and Alex Ferguson can do from the touchline. Their voices are lost in the din. Hamza rounds Bruce. Pallister, his partners there. Now Keane in the centre of midfield where he prefers to be. Sharp on the left wing where he prefers to be. Has no support, he's going to have to beat the defender and go alone. He's going to have to beat 3 defenders to be exact. Well, he's taken on 2, 1 to go. Kubile recovers, oh, and Giggs is in there. Lovely turn, lovely shot. Couldn't hit the target, asking a bit much. But again, Lee Sharp cracking the Galatasaray defence.
Lee Sharp has worked wonders in the second half. Every time he's taken on the fullback, he's gone and beaten him, and Giggs was unlucky there, just bounced into him, couldn't quite keep it down.
Substitution about to be made. Kessa Adal, former captain of the team, very experienced international, comes on, and he doesn't like it, but the man who scored the 2 goals, Kubile, is going to be given a rest and acquires the limp to go with the cards. Seems to be a groin injury.
Not surprising to see Erdal come on and take up a position at right back. Obviously a defender. Lee Sharp was causing him too much trouble. The manager said get out and stop his runs.
Nadal gets stuck in straight from the start. 12.5 minutes to go. I do imagine quite a bit of stoppage time as well for the couple of Turkish chaps who decided to join in the on-field excitement. To Guy. United are showing true conviction. They're not sulking. Cantona skips around 1, skips around 2, but they've really had the measure of him.
No doubt about it. What was very difficult for Cantona there, he was looking up, he was trying to pick out another red shirt, but the Turks had 10 players behind the ball, and it was very, very difficult for him to find a United player in space. Had to try to go it alone. Too many men back there took the ball away from him.
Lee Martin. Sharp, beaten the fullback twice. Adal, it looks, is going to sit back and do a man-to-man marking job on Lee Sharp. They've spotted the danger. Ince, again, the flicks not opening up spaces. Cantona's found space, lays it back to Sharp, and a wayward, hopeless shot really. It wasn't good and he knows it.
Would have been better to keep that on target. I'm not sure whether Cantona actually tried to pick him out. Didn't really matter. I think Cantona tried to pick out Giggs, but it did fall perfectly for Sharp's left foot, and should have really kept that one down, hit the target at least.
Martin. Phelan to Giggs. Quiet game from Boy Wonder. Away by Stumpf. Bruce. Ince asking a lot of Keane. Phelan is fitted into the right back role. Giggs has been starved of the ball. Now Phelan. Can he make the perfect delivery? No. Far from perfect. And he wins it back. Giggs cross. It all come in to the near post. And the goalkeeper, I thought he'd actually hold on to the ball, but the Turks are going for this fourth goal. It's 2-on-2. And holds it up, looking for better odds than that. Suat is up there. Adal, a bad pass. And Steve Bruce, wearing the captain's armband, leads the charge. Cantona. Oh, around one, but not around the second. Hughes now to Sharp. They're lining up in the centre, waiting for a good cross. Has to go deep. Bruce gets it back in. Doesn't reach Hughes. Phelan. And again, a wall of yellow shirts with some sterling defensive play. Lee Martin. I'd say 90% of the Manchester United crosses, and there have been a lot of them tonight, have found Galatasaray heads. Cantona! Oh, yes! Oh, Cantona! Just when the game seemed to be running away from Manchester United, up pops Cantona, totally unmarked, and brings a smile back to the fans' faces, if not the manager's.
Well, it was a superb ball in from Roy Keane. Just put his foot on the ball, looked up, saw Cantona make the run, picked him out superbly. The defender was always struggling to get there, and that's exactly what United needed. Now they've got to try and go, get another one, and come out winning this game when it didn't seem likely.
Well, he was having a quiet game, Eric Cantona, but produces, it's not exactly a piece of magic, but it's made it a very interesting final 9 minutes. Suat. Now, how will the Turks react to this? They've defended so well all evening, and that really was Sunday League stuff.
That's right, and at last United have got some urgency in their play. They're quick to everything now, everybody's working hard for each other, and they couldn't get the ball back and play quick enough there.
Sharp. And suddenly the atmosphere inside Old Trafford has changed. Lee Sharp gets an elbow to the nose. The referee doesn't see that, and it will be a goal kick to Galatasaray. Sharp had gone around the defender. The elbows were flying, made contact, and Adal will claim that it was all in the spirit of the game.
Well, if anything, I think it was just a flailing arm there. I think Sharp tried to pull him back. I don't think he intentionally meant to elbow him. And Sharp seems okay. I don't think he was hit too hard.
Mark Hughes giving chase. Gets there and succeeds in putting Hughes off, and it will be a goal kick. He has been so well in the back, in the sweeping role. And that's Kubilai, the man who scored those 2 goals. He looks a little upset. All that hard work, I wouldn't say going down the drain, because level terms in Turkey is almost as good as a 1-goal lead, and of course 3 away goals are most vital. I think Manchester United will agree they have to go across, and they simply have to win over there. Martin. Stumpf. Drops to Giggs, can't turn. Galatasaray are looking nervous. Ince fouls Suat. And Suat will try and waste a couple of minutes. The trainers are eagerly waiting in anticipation on the touchline, but again the referee, as he has done all night, insists that play goes on. It wasn't a nasty challenge, just caught his ankles. Suat's okay now, joining in the play. Adal. Arif lets it go. I don't know if they keep going down injured, Jim, or if they're just tired and want to rest.
Well, exactly. It's a bit of both. Taking a couple of knocks, but they'll use all the time in the world to try and take this free kick, and the referee is onto it already. They are very tired now. They've worked very, very hard tonight to get to this stage, and they'll waste all the time they can.
Adal's cross. Michael hesitates, grabs it graciously in the end. To Keane. They're looking for Sharp to make a run. Cantona holds it up. Giggs is skipping down the centre. Cantona frustratingly holds on for it too long, and United are now short at the back. It's Hakan inside Pallister. With a strong wall. Not a great clearance from Schmeichel. And the travelling fans want one last surge of effort in the final 4 minutes. Will Alex Ferguson be happy with 3-3 at this stage, Jim?
Well, he won't be happy on the whole, of course not. He'll be a little bit happier to get back in. The last thing he would have wanted was to go 3-2 down to Turkey and have to get at least 2 goals to try and win it. He'll be a little bit happier now that they've got one back, and I think he'll probably be a little bit worried before. Twice United went and gave the ball away there, and this Galatasaray side are still capable of scoring themselves, remember. They've hit United well on the break tonight. Cantona and Schmeichel both gave the ball away, and they've got to guard against that as well.
Steve Bruce on his left foot, didn't fancy the shot, hands it on to Cantona, looking for the penalty, was always looking for the penalty, was never going to get it really.
Yeah, he was just beaten by the 2 Turkish defenders there. They were always going to get there first. Cantona knew it, tried to con the referee and make out he was sandwiched.
What a finale. Giggs corner, the goalkeeper comes, we could hear him calling here. And his teammates demanding he holds on for it, holds on to it for as long as possible. We imagine there's going to be plenty of stoppage time for the alleged injuries and little demonstration. Keane. Sharp, this is better. That's a good cross. Oh, across everybody and just runs away from Phelan. Phelan backtracks. And never a dull moment. Pallister. Hughes. Keane. Lord on. Nobody's leaving yet. Sharp's cross, not a good one. Goalkeeper determined not to lose it in the lights. He drops it, but was fouled. And now the referee has a word with Giggs and Cantona, who he thinks went in rather strongly on the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper recovers, he's told to play on, he's not getting a free kick. The referee must take great credit for what has been an excellent game of football.
The referee has done exceptionally well tonight. Of course, we've seen many foreign teams come to this country and play on any sort of tackle that's gone into them and dive around, all the antics, but he's not fallen for any of it tonight, and I thought he handled the situation with the 2 idiots on the pitch extremely well too. Kept everybody calm and restarted the game as soon as they were off.
Drops to Keane! Oh dear, so close, yet so far away.
Well, Roy Keane's mind must have flashed back to Saturday there. Scored a very similar goal against Spurs. Took up a great position on the edge of the box again. Header fell perfectly to him. Had time to take it on his chest. Went for the corner, picked a spot, and that's just come off the post. So unlucky.
Could have been closer. A matter of an inch and a half. It had hit the inside of the post. It would probably have gone in. And a second substitution about to be made. Altinus Youssef, the second Youssef, will come on. He's a defender. And Suat, little Pat Nevin look-alike, is... Pat Nevin won't thank me for that. He's going to take a rest. And the Turks, with, I would imagine, a couple of minutes of injury time, taking no risks. They want to hang on to a 3-3 draw. The referee is pointing to the corner. Galatasaray don't appear to be in any great hurry. The referee stopped the watch though. They just kind of lumber forward. Stumpf is in at the near post. There's only 3 yellow-shirted players in the box. One of those he stumps, gets ahead of. If there'd been somebody behind him, they could have got a vital goal. Again, the referee plays advantage, or so it seemed. Well, I thought so. Stumpf thought so. The referee, whose whistle was lost, doesn't agree with Stumpf and gives him the yellow card. Meanwhile, play carries on. Giggs flicked on by Keane to Ince, to Hughes, trying to make his mark. Suspicion of handball, but it was Hughes who was doing the fouling and squaring up to Bülent. And we don't want anything silly from the players. I think frustration from both sides just boiling over. They're going to kiss and make up and replay the battle over in Istanbul.
Well, in particular, frustration for Mark Hughes there at this late stage. He'll be still hoping to go and knock one in. But on the whole tonight, he hasn't really been given much room by a Turkish defence that's watched both him and Eric Cantona very, very closely.
The referee has been a stickler for most of the laws tonight. He could well play all of the time that Galatasaray have been wasting. Who knows, who could be going into news at 10 if this continues. I don't think there's any danger of that at the moment. This could be the last attack of the game. Sharp, oh, beautiful footwork. Will there be something on the end of this fine move? Cantona's at the back post, over Giggs, away by Bülent. Still, Manchester United keep the pressure on. Lovely flick from Cantona. First time we've seen that tonight. Feeling up and under. Hughes tries to find space for something spectacular. And Turkey, well, the Turkish champions, hoof the ball forward. It just happens to fall to Hakan. He's going for glory. He's taking on Bruce. And an important save from Peter Schmeichel. Cantona turns. Not so much on a sixpence. But as always, Stumpf is behind him. Hakan's in an offside position, actually, in the 18-yard area, which is why the substitute's holding the ball up. And the referee has seen enough. 3.5 minutes of stoppage time, and Eric Cantona's goal could be so vital when these teams go over to Istanbul for the second leg. They'll be there with about 30,000 friends as well. They're not celebrating as yet, and that was such a vital save from Peter Schmeichel into stoppage time. They'll be celebrating in the streets of Istanbul. The full-time score here at Old Trafford in a pulsating game. 6 goals shared, Manchester United 3, Galatasaray 3.
When you buy selected games consoles at Woolworths, we'll throw in a free arcade control centre.
Throughout the course of evolution, mankind has spent millions of years learning to sit down. The reason we've perfected the sitting position is now finally clear. Sony has introduced an in-car CD player. It takes 10 discs at once, fits in the boot and plays 12 hours of music. which is a lot of sitting. So, Nick, why man really learn to sit?
Are you sitting comfortably? Then let's begin.
It's good to be back here in mystical Ireland. It really is.
Are you going for a pint or what?
My mum was Irish, my granddad was Irish. So, for Irish in me.
Catch yourself on.
Calling a cyclonic variable for a time tonight. There is another Ireland. You can't handle the truth. The playground of the world.
Maybe that's just Blarney.
Cars, home improvements, furnishings. When you find what you want, find the bank that wants you. Ulster Bank. We want to give you a loan.
Primus Uomo, style reborn.
No mess, no fumes, no fuss. It's no wonder people are switching on to comfortable, convenient controlled heat at guaranteed weekly running costs. The heat is on with Economy 7 Automatic. To get in on the action, get on the line. Call Belfast 66 3535. The new Corsa from Vauxhall is now available with 5 doors and 3 doors. Group 3 insurance, over 64 miles per gallon, and an on-the-road price from only £6,900. The Vauxhall Corsa, a supermodel with some great-looking figures. Test drive Corsa now at your local Vauxhall dealer. Vauxhall means value in '93.
Welcome back. A night of high drama here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 3, Galatasaray 3. No official reaction. The Manchester United dressing room door is very firmly locked. Alex Ferguson said no comment. Right, let's move on to the Cup Winners' Cup. And better news for British football there. Arsenal 3, Standard Liège 0. That's the final score at Highbury. Commentators Kevin Keegan and Brian Moore.
Here's Alan Smith. Played in early by Keown. Will Wright get there first? It's a goal for Arsenal. Ian Wright.
It's Smith, who you want in the middle, who's doing the work out wide. Great cross, I think from McGoldrick, and a terrific finish.
It's Merson. And it's a goal! Well, you said you hoped he had better luck than he had in Rotterdam when he smacked the Dutch post. A lovely free kick there by Paul Merson. Over the wall. What a great sight that is. Muneron was left stranded, and Arsenal are 2 ahead. And now Arsenal attacking again. Merson and Wright up there. The yellow shirts are getting back, and Wright got there first. It's with Ian Wright. It's a wonderful goal by Ian Wright.
They're both on the same wavelength here. Look at this. But there's an awful lot of work to do. He knows the goalkeeper's going to come. He knows he's going to lie down. And he's been there so many times in his career.
Well, all in all, I suppose you've got to say it's not been a bad week for British clubs in Europe. Celtic won earlier on today by a goal to nil. And the latest score in the Cup Winners' Cup, Torino 2, Aberdeen 2. Just confirmed that is the latest score. Right, well, Jim Beglin has rushed down from the gantry to join us here in the warmth of the studio. I imagine it's pretty hot in that Manchester United dressing room at the moment, Jim.
Alex Ferguson can't be a happy man. I mean, a lot of people would probably be impressed the fact that the Turkish side have come here and scored 3 goals, but for me, United let them do it.
Of course, they went 3-2 ahead. I mean, threatened this impregnable United record in Europe at home.
Well, incredible. I mean, just what United deserved, really. For me, on the whole, they didn't close them down enough tonight. And when they were given a chance to play, they looked a little bit tentative, didn't go forward with their usual style and their usual confidence. I don't know why. Perhaps there's a little bit of tiredness. Perhaps they just simply had an off night. But I don't think it's down to the fact that the Turkish side are really that good. I don't believe that.
How valuable do you think the Eric Cantona goal will prove to be in the final analysis, Jim?
Very valuable. At least they're going there with, I suppose, the scores level. Of course, they've got the 3 valuable away goals, but here we see the Cantona goal. Roy Keane picked him out beautifully. That is very, very important for them. United now don't have to go necessarily and score 2 to have any chance.
Of course, there were two fans invading the pitch tonight. The referee's report, the UEFA observers' report, will be weighted with some trepidation by everyone here at Manchester United. From Old Trafford, good night to you.
Isn't it time you dropped in for a long, cool pint of you-know-what?
How much do you have to spend on a BMW to exceed the world's toughest official safety test?
This weekend, a European Cup ordeal in Turkey before then, and today a visit from a bubbling Queen's Park Rangers. In Les Ferdinand, they have just the man to test the theory that United are short on cover at the centre of their defence. For the first time in 18 months, they're without Gary Pallister today. Mike Phelan, a midfield man by trade, comes in at right back. Paul Parker plays at the heart of the defence. But there's no doubting the depth of the rest of Alex Ferguson's squad. Parker, Paul Ince, Ryan Giggs and Eric Cantona all return today, fresh from a week off. Jerry Francis doesn't have quite the same depth, but he'd back his first choice 11 against anyone, and this is it. Ray Wilkins is fit for an Old Trafford return. Bradley Allen is scoring even more freely than Ferdinand at the moment. Stephen Lodge is in charge. It's the 2 form teams in the Premiership. It's the 2 leading scorers in the Premiership. It's the match of the day. Free kick to Manchester United. Paul Parker, who prefers playing at the heart of the defence. Whether he'll still be saying that after an afternoon in the company of Les Ferdinand, we'll see. Beautiful combination, Ince to Cantona, Hughes. Sharp, Ince, here goes Cantona. Just couldn't quite shake Peacock's attentions. Hughes has got it back. Queen's Park Rangers throw. Manchester United just starting to zip the ball around. Tamely by Keane to Sinclair. That's good work by Ryan Giggs. Another little indication of how quickly he's growing up in the game. Bardsley. Ferdinand with some space, it's fallen for Barker, here's Ferdinand, good save! Wow, he got hold of that, didn't he? Just as Peter Schmeichel, who made an excellent stop. Breathtaking strike from Les Ferdinand. Came back to him off Barker, and he caught it so sweetly. Schmeichel almost held it. Headed away by Sharp. Here's Bardsley. In towards Ferdinand, great lead, Bradley Allen, 1-0. Less than 8 minutes gone, and Queen's Park Rangers take the lead at the Stretford end. And Bradley Allen is as hot as they come in the Premiership at the moment. 7 goals in his last 5 games. David Bardsley delivering a good cross, and look how Ferdinand gets off the ground. And Allen's a great technician in front of goal. Manchester United have only been behind in one other game here at Old Trafford this season, and that was against Galatasaray. And what a struggle that became for them. Dennis Irwin. Paul Ince. It's not the crispness and accuracy about the Manchester United passing we've come to expect yet. Hughes. Giggs. Headed by Peacock. Phelan did well to get a foot in. Giggs, in goes Ince. Peacock got it away, only as far as Giggs. It's Peacock again. And at last, some intense pressure on the Queen's Park Rangers rearguard. Ryan Giggs will take the corner. In comes Ince. Real chance for Paul Ince. They were watching Cantona on the near post. They were watching Bruce just behind him. But Ince it was who sneaked in between the pair of them. And his header only just sneaked wide of the target. Impey. Barker. Plenty of support down this left flank. This is Sinclair. Impey, the other winger's over here too. Long for Allen. They'll be a little disappointed with that. Now Cantona. Plenty ahead of him. Hughes kicks to his right. Cantona looking only ahead for himself. Good challenge by Sinclair. Hughes has got it back though. A little misunderstanding. And it's Queen's Park Rangers' turn to break with Bradley Allen. Here's a great calming influence, Wilkins. Wilson hung up for Ferdinand, and look at the jump again. Well, he's been penalised. Difficult to call when the defender doesn't get off the ground at all. Stephen Lodge only assumed that Parker had been held down. I'm not sure he was, not until Ferdinand was on the way down anyway. Queen's Park Rangers are probably most people's idea of a team that will win more friends than points at a place like Old Trafford. But their recent record here is very respectable. 1 defeat in their last 5 league visits. Irwin. Ince. Sharp. It's into Hughes. Oh, he's done well to shield that, and he's done very well there. Sharp. Oh, and hit the other post. Giggs, and it ran away from Keane. Sharp. Oh, what an escape for Queen's Park Rangers. Well, Mark Hughes deserves something there. And Manchester United certainly did. It was classic Hughes, the way that he used his body to make the space for that beautiful chip which struck one post, and somehow Stayskill and his other post kept Manchester United at bay, somehow. Ferdinand doing well. Allen. Manchester United backing off him, and Ferdinand was only just offside. It's quite a combination that's building between Bradley and Les Ferdinand. Free kick given Manchester United's way. There's a lot of Eric Cantona to shift out of the way. Steve Bruce. Ryan Giggs. Slightly behind Cantona. Hughes. Peacock with a sharp challenge. say, the Manchester United fans have been a little spoilt here at Old Trafford this season, and they've shared the players' frustration, along with Alex Ferguson, at that deficit from as early as the 8th minute via Bradley Allen's goal. Manchester United certainly unfortunate not to equalise when Hughes and Sharp struck the woodwork, but overall Queen's Park Rangers have been pretty good value for their halfway advantage. It's almost exactly a year since Manchester United were beaten here at Old Trafford. In fact, if you turn the clock back 12 months, you find them struggling for wins and desperate for goals. They were 7th in the table this time last year, behind Queen's Park Rangers for one. And behind Queen's Park Rangers by a goal so far this afternoon. Here is the goal scorer, Bradley Allen. Clive Wilson. Hughes on for Cantona, and McDonald couldn't clear it, and here's Eric Cantona, good save by Jan Stejskal, and a corner kick. Clearest chance so far for Manchester United. You'd back Cantona in those situations, but Stejskal's in good form. Flicked on again by Cantona, away by Bardsley, Ince on the volley! Didn't miss by much, and there would have been nothing anybody could have done to have stopped it. Cracker from Ince. Oh. The reaction of the fans behind the goal said it all. So close. They're difficult to resist when their mind's on the job, and they look a little bit more businesslike in the second half. Hughes. Keane's made a great run. It's come to him off Barker. Now is he impeded? Referee had a good view. Impey got it clear. Cantona to Ince. But they're getting closer, and they're getting more and more on top. And Ince just turning up the volume inside Old Trafford in the process. Sinclair. Impey. Barker. Cantona. Taking the bypass around McDonald. Look at Giggs in space to his right. Cantona goes in alone. It was a pretty good decision too. And just when you need something special from somebody special, Eric Cantona provides it. 8 minutes of the second half gone, and Manchester United are on terms. And if that hadn't hit the back of the net, he'd have been hearing from Ryan Giggs, who was in a great position, but it did hit the back of the net. Cantona knew just what he was doing, and he has both the confidence and the technique to put it off just inside the post. One-one. 8 minutes into the first half, Bradley Allen. 8 minutes into the second half, Eric Cantona. Hughes. Sharp's made a great run into the centre. Good control too, not a bad volley. And Stejskal just gathers it. It's a different Manchester United now, and it's a different story. Lee Sharp, whose season has been bulging with goals, almost got another. Ince. Giggs. Given away by Barker very cheaply. Hughes. Ince. Giggs. Ince. It was Barker on the floor who finally hooked it away. Irwin. Sharp. Keane. In goes Giggs. It's lovely stuff. It's a corner kick. Wave after wave of Manchester United attack. Lapping against the Queen's Park Rangers penalty area now. In goes Keane, in goes Hughes. It was inevitable. 2 goals inside 5 minutes have changed the game. Mark Hughes puts Manchester United into the lead.